And today we plan our cooking. We plan our menu, right? Last time we left off in the Call of the Hunger, you guys had finally made it to the Bracken Bastion, and upon gathering at this place, you talked to multiple people and quickly fell into some graces. G, you met, who is a local script mage, which is basically like an enchanter, but there's some very specific rules to it. Who would be able to help out Emery with her situation with her brother, who also had a little bit of insight about Ilya's weapon that made by his father. You were able to talk to Rothradine and eventually come and talk to a gentleman by the name of Jackhold, whom you found in consort with your good friend Wallaby, or at least your guide. And the hair on the back of your guys' neck was raised about what clandestine decisions were being made behind closed doors. But long story short, he had found out through schmoozing with G that to find Leanne and Shay, you guys, which Wallaby needed, and it sounds like was a request, a dying request from Archek, that Leanne and Shay could be found in the Grey Glade beyond, on the southern banks of the Thunder Falls. But that information being given to you was not necessarily the most pressing, as you guys had on your way here had run into this creature stalking you and hunting you. And through conversations with the Redeemed, or the Ace of Wayloon, you'd come to believe that this thing was a Tengu, a sapient race, meaning they're a person more than they are an animal, a bipedal bird person. And at first it was thought that maybe there was some sort of contract out that would be a reason for them to be hunting you, but it has soon realized that that could not be the case. For over the night, this thing preyed upon the Aes Sedai themselves, beheading one of their own, and leaving it as a trophy and a challenge for the Aes Sedai who were left. Poor, I think his name's Einok. Poor Einok.
No matter what universe it is, Witcher parenthesis type characters still get killed off for the plot, undermining their reliability as badasses.
Like, oh look, your whole perfect bastion here just completely undermined by this one bird guy.
Because they are monster hunters and not people hunters.
Yes.
But we'll see, because Rad Baxter aims to change that, who ironically is not an Aes Sedai. He, too, is a tourist, here to train amongst them himself. But he took it personally, as he was friends with Einok, and he swore vengeance! Vengeance upon such bird person!
Matthew McConaughey, yeah, he did.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey Baxter.
Yeah.
In the meantime, also, Emery had asked that they look into the vampire that had been plaguing her in her backstory by the name of, what was that lady's name again?
Oh gosh, Ephemeria.
Ephemeria, thank you. Ephemeria. And they said, you know what, based off of the description that you gave us, we might be able to find something. We're going to have one of our workers look into the annals in our library here and see what we can pull up as well. So in that morning, the only other thing that happened was G came to you guys saying, "Hey, I'm a little bit worried about my squeeze. My significant other is still out and about hunting one of these profane creatures, as we are known to do." And he's out there with this Tengu potentially as a problem, and I don't feel good about this stuff right now. Would you be willing to bring him back in some way, shape, or form? I know that he wouldn't like me asking this, but maybe if you could check in on him or something along those lines too. So that being said, you guys are left to plot and scheme whatever you want through this day. It is still early morning, and not the Witchers, the Redeemed are still up about and are coming up with their own schemes as well. But they can obviously work with you guys. You guys can plan your own thing, whatever. I'll leave you guys to tell the tale.
Well, I think we should start asking around among the Redeemed and maybe get some ideas of how they've killed something similar, if they've ever encountered one like this before. So far, the only things we know for certain are that it's extremely fast and it is extremely stealthy to the point that it can cloak itself somehow. And it's intelligent enough to set up sophisticated traps. And it's agile enough to navigate the forest with no effort whatsoever, it seems. So I say we get everybody together. This is obviously not something that 3 people are going to be able to solve.
Outside of game question, weren't the Aeswayloon also gathering up a hunting party to do similarly?
Yeah, basically Rad was like, fuck this thing. So they're thinking, he's thinking similarly.
Okay.
So we can.
Are they having a meeting nearby or anything that we can look around for?
Yeah, you guys can convene at like the local like the inside the fort in the mess hall.
We
Okay.
do
I guess
that.
I was more of asking, are they already doing that, or do we have to go gather them? Because it seems like something that someone on a hunt would already do.
Yeah, correct. They would already be starting to do that. But I was kind of leaving it up to you guys as to whether or not you were going to join with them, or if you're going to do your own separate thing. So.
I think it makes
Okay.
sense to join up. I'm on that front.
Okay. As you guys make for the mess hall, one thing that you notice is a drip of water starts to peck down onto your faces and tink off of the buildings. And it's just enough that it starts to creep in as you guys start to enter into the buildings. There's a light sprinkle going on outside. It's one of those like daylight rains where it's like you look up and there's not really a cloud, but it's just started to drizzle out.
Right.
As you walk into the mess hall, there is Rad Baxter, and he's met up with Rothradine, G, as well as Kalamazoo, Rania Ashwild, and Lishka Stardew. So there's 6 of them there. Basically, as you walk in, you hear Rad Baxter goes, listen, I know I'm not one of you guys, referencing to the Ace Woman, but Enoch was my friend. I think, Lishka, that maybe you can put your hunt off for a little while. Maybe we can put an old friend to rest. The Aeswayloon way. She nods. It's a pity our numbers always seem to grow short. Yeah. It's unfortunate in this line of work, but he kind of looks over his shoulders. There's always seem to be others who will take their place amongst us. You 3, you seem to be, let's say, a bit ready for a crash course on hunting.
Got a really good hit on me, so I figure maybe we could give him one back.
Lishka kind of... Sorry, girl, but you don't look like the fighting type.
suppose that's...
Your eyes deceive you, sir. We've seen her fight.
Huh. Well, they say never judge a book by its cover. It's more dangerous than not. Besides, anyone who wants to add a helping hand or a shield to the front lines, who am I to blink twice? Lishka, give her a little credence here. She managed to make it through they managed to make it to the woodlands here all on their own. Okay, with but the help of Wallaby. Now, no offense, Wallaby, but you see Wallaby actually start coming up behind you. Goes, no, I enlisted them to protect me on my way here. I take no offense. In fact, I might shit this one out.
That sounds like him.
Yeah, it does. Not surprised. Does he already have, like, some sort of alcohol? His breakfast.
He doesn't have breakfast immediately in his hand, but he doesn't have. He doesn't go anywhere without a flask on hand.
Well, I'm actually rather good at setting traps, so there is that. I can help in that way. I just don't know. Are you guys thinking you're gonna try to track him down, or her, or it, or make it come to us?
First things first. I think this first part of the hunt is always rather not glamorous, may I say. It's applying the what's the word? The trait of the page. You got to read up, but you guys have had the most dealings with this particular thing in the past, so maybe you take point. We have resources here.
Well, don't know much. Don't know we want it dead. It's very fast. It's clearly intelligent. Set up a trap for us. It's capable of cloaking itself. We've seen it as a shimmer, and it's highly agile, highly mobile. It can traverse the forest with complete ease. It's not just fast, but it's also very strong and deadly. It's more or less killed Emery here, and was only brought back by the powers of Wretch. So we know so far. We also know its race, which is Tengu.
And we know that it's not hunting for food, it's hunting for sport more than anything, it seems like. Or, I don't know if it's like revenge or something instead.
Revenge would seem odd considering when we got here it just started killing random people at fires.
Yeah.
I don't know what they did to it.
What's your take on this Nath? He kind of Redbacks looks into the back 40, so to speak, and you see this gentleman with kind of like what kind of cut is that? The bowl cut hair.
Oh God.
And he starts like pulling it back and trying to like man bun it out of the way, and he goes, to be honest, and he's nervously like cleaning a pair of glasses that he has on like a set of chain, and kind of looks up at you guys and kind of squints a little bit. He can't really make you guys out from here, but then he puts the glasses on. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised by you're talking about magical beings, but sapient or sorry, from all accounts, Tengu are just folks like you and I, or the Woolund, more specifically. But I suppose present company is probably a good example of folks who are innately blessed in some way, shape, or form, either as a channeler or trained in witchcraft, or even a fragment of the Uvar themselves, a sorcerer. could take a moment and look into this. But did you see any perhaps somatic components, or sorry, did you see any somatic components to the magical casting with this figure? Or did they mutter any sort of incantations when they performed any magical iterations?
I don't remember
No.
making any noise, right?
Didn't say anything, didn't do anything. It dropped in for the kill and went for it. Dropped out of its cloaking, and that's it.
I also don't remember it. Well, I don't really remember it doing too much, just looking all angry and stuff. But no, I didn't say anything.
There's a potential that we could be dealing with. I mean, we can't rule out ritual casting if this thing prepared itself for the trials ahead, either. But there's a potential that this thing is a sorcerer. It's innately magical, like a fairy or a unicorn. It could just have certain magical properties. It also could be alchemical in nature. Did you perhaps see a satchel of apothecary agents, bottles? Is this thing? I heard it carried tools.
Can we do like a memory check? Or that sounds bad, but I don't remember anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we just try to like
Give me a
recall it?
vigilance check.
Okay.
All of us or just Emery?
Anyone who wants to try to recall.
I'm
Like
good
that.
at vigilance. Let me do it too.
Can you give me 4 green dice?
Oh my god! I'm not going to. You're gonna have to deal with your situation.
How do you have 4 green dice?
We have 2 packs of all of the dice.
No, I meant like.
Oh my god, I'm looking at your sheet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh,
what?
2.
What do you mean you're as good at this as me? This is my thing.
No, yeah.
1.1.
5.1.
Jesus.
It's my thing.
You're vigilant as hell.
Retch.
Listen, most of the time I just walk around, say funny words, and keep you people from dying. But once in a while, comes into my eyeball cord.
So, one thing he was pretty much invisible most of the time, right? But one thing that you would have recognized is that the magical nature of his cloaking or whatever actually helped cloak some of his how do I put this? You were able to make out some of his goods, like his leather satchel and stuff like that. It just blended in pretty well. It almost started to bleed into the magical aura. So it's almost like if you were to be a caster in the sense of like witchcraft or classic wizardry, he would be like, I'm going to turn my entire everything on me invisible. Okay. But this almost seemed to have less of an effect on their materials than it did on their actual flesh. So that being said, you could see like a satchel on them. However, what was in the satchel you wouldn't know necessarily, right? So that being said, it does not rule out that this is alchemical, but it does give you guys a little bit more information too.
Wait, did you say his clothes were more or less affected by the
Less.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's hard to make out like a wooden haft of a spear while he's standing on a tree, while everything else is invisible and it's bleeding over some of his materials.
Okay. Well, it sounds like he's the magical thing, not any somatic components.
Yeah. So if you didn't hear him cast, if you didn't see him waving his arms, that sort of thing, then more than like he wasn't casting through witchcraft. But there's still the potential that he cast this long before he reached you and concentrated on the spells on hand. Can't rule it out. But
do you guys have anything that like would dull magical abilities like that? Like,
there are some resources available. A silvern sword, unenchanted, would do the trick. Most of us Aesoalian keep that on our persons at all times. Obsidian blades are known to help as well, though it depends on the type of caster. Witchcrafters and channelers are the most susceptible to obsidian blades, although they have been known to help temporarily with sorcerers. Problem is that sorcerers are already so innately in tune with the world that most water-based disenchantments and stone blockers tend not to work. It also probably wouldn't work against apothecary reagents.
Well, I wonder if there's a way to. Because if this is a ritual that he had to do ahead of time, it may just apply to whatever he had on him at the time. Because I don't think he's got a nest somewhere. At least I don't imagine he does. I'm sure he eats, but maybe splash him. It doesn't have to be something that dispels magic, but tag him somehow.
If it's a ritual cast, then we know if the magic is dispelled temporarily, it would take him an exorbitant amount of time to be ready. At which point he would be vulnerable.
Well, vulnerable to a degree. He's exceptionally deadly.
Vulnerable to a degree is sometimes all we get.
That's very true.
You guys can start to hear the rain on the outside of the building now. And
do you think the rain would help or hurt? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
so first thing that the casters in the room would know is that rain would affect channelers and witchcrafters. If you do not have the water talent. It's very similar to if you don't have the earth mage talent, then being coated in mud or trying to cast through stone or being pierced by an obsidian blade would cause magic to go awry around you.
Yeah, that's the reason you got me that earth mage thingy, is because I'm probably going to get dirty a lot.
Also, your plate mail.
Metal.
The metal.
Oh yeah, I forgot that
the
applies.
plate mail
even if
would
it's not.
totally fuck with your magic.
Agree to disagree. All right, you win this round.
It's like wearing a piece of plate mail in the microwave.
You'll be protected from the magnet.
Yeah.
So what you would know is rainwater would greatly affect witches as well as channelers. But as you speak, once again, the question comes back to what kind of magic this creature might hold. Nath, can we rely on you to look into seeing what you can pull up? This, sure, yeah. I mean, if he is a sapient, we can see if there's histories of them coming across the mountains with, particular deities that they would channel, or tellings of them wielding powerful witchcraft. If that's not the case, then it may be in fact that this person is Sisimido. We would have to consider that into the lot. But I was researching last night a bit, and I think I might have started to find a section of our library that deals with some of the vampire that might be associated with the what was her name? Jeez, Cheesy Pete's. The vampire that you were looking into.
Oh, Ephemeria.
Thank you. I'll never remember some names.
I mean, it's your name. You made it. So
I do love the name. Might be associated with Ephemeria. So, would you guys like me to finish looking into that, or I could start?
this is more important right now.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll just bookmark that. And he moves off to go back to the library to look in a little bit more into this stuff. So more questions on the nature of this creature will have to wait. So that way he can pull a little bit more. But in the meantime, if there's anything else you guys would like to look into for prep, by all means.
Did they answer my question as to if we were going out to hunt for him or waiting or setting a trap?
So here's my opinion as a DM.
That's
That I don't want these guys making the plan. I want you guys to make the plan.
That's fine. I just
Yep.
was double checking that.
Yep. They're prone for taking their sweet time, measuring twice and then to cut once. Right.
We don't have time.
We have so
We don't
many
have
things
time.
to do.
I gotta cut this guy like 50 times. I don't want to bother measuring.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Hi, Corbin.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
So a couple of things to think about. Let me just pull this here. If you're gonna hunt him, obviously, how are you gonna find him, right?
Mhm.
But if you're going to trap him, how are you going to lure him in? Those are obviously like the very first really big questions. And if you do choose to try to trap him, like lure him in, how are you going to get him to stick around instead of just be like, oh crap, and then leave, right?
Yeah, like,
So,
that was my thought. Like, I can... Either way, I can make traps and stuff. Like, to try to ensnare him or hold him for some time. At least until somebody else can do something. But it kind of just depends on how we want to do it.
Yeah. If you ask Wretch, he doesn't have too much of an opinion because it's like hunting. That's not really a thing he does very well. But like me as a player, I don't know. It seems to me really odd to try and go after him. He clearly is better than like all of us at woodsmanship and stealth and that sort of thing, but he does seem to like show up almost every goddamn night and kill somebody. So it seems like it's much easier to just sit around here and wait for him to try and kill someone, or maybe like even throw one of ourselves out. Like we give some bullshit excuse to be like, oh well, since that guy whose name starts with an E that I'm now forgetting is dead, you know, Inoch. I'll take his turn at watch or whatever, but then we sit like intentionally isolated and the other two watch and we set our trap that way. Cause yeah, I don't think we're going to catch him. That just doesn't seem like a thing we can do. But like Wretch definitely wouldn't say any of that, but that's just like me, Austin, as a player saying that.
Yeah, I don't think none of us are fast enough to hunt him, and if we can find him, he has already found us.
Also, my dog just rang the bell to go outside, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
He can ring the bell.
there's
Smart pupper.
there's jingle bells hanging from the door handle.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Chopper just kind of oinks and squeals.
Yeah, the dogs get up and they poignantly tell us it's time, except for last night when Ashara pissed like a gallon on the floor in the middle of the night.
It was...
Oh,
You could tell that she woke up and she was like, there's no asking. This is now.
Yeah, it was not...
I'm only laughing because I didn't have to clean it up.
Yeah. It was
I
not
used
fun.
three hand towels and then I grabbed an actual towel.
Ugh.
And then it's still drying. It's a
Shimon on
the carpet that I move. Like I pick up the carpet and I'm having it air out. And stuff. I'm like,
Okay.
holy crap!
Yeah, yeah, it was gross. Super gross.
Still is.
Yeah. No. All right. So yeah, he clearly likes to attack single people, like when they're singled out or alone. I really don't know that I can take another stab like that, but I don't know, Wretch. You look pretty able to take a hit.
He's also our healer.
What's that
So-
supposed to mean?
Well, I'm just saying that, yeah, you're the tankiest of us, but if you're unconscious, then you're going to stay that way, because I don't know how to... I mean, I
Patch
could
you
try
back
to patch
together.
you up.
The Calamity Company group has the same problem with Mallory. She's the one who can take the most blows, but no one can pick her up if she goes down.
I don't like what you're implying. You don't think I can take it?
No, you can take it, but
You don't think I can take it? I'm going up there. God damn it! He's gonna do the, and I'm gonna get off.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that if... I mean, he just eviscerated Emery in one fell swoop, and I'm just saying that you're too important in two avenues to place a bet like that.
No pun intended
I
on the swooping.
don't want to take that chance to get stabbed personally.
Do you think Wallaby would? Just kidding.
You see him he's carving a piece of an apple off. He's like, oh no.
Oh no.
G speaks up. She goes, "Well, I'm heading down to the alchemy lab." If she looks over at Radback, so if you guys call him as you need him, I suppose.
When that guy got attacked, was he in the compound or was he?
He was inside the compound.
I would recommend sticking in pairs, not going off alone.
Rotherdine nods and goes, "Fair point. G, why don't you take Wallaby with you?" All right. Wallaby goes, "Be fair, there's a lot of good substances down there. I won't get in the way. I'll just sit in the corner and find something to pack my pipe." "Very well, Wallaby. At least you make for good conversation." "Yeah, don't besmirch my character. I'm worth a good piece of conversation has been far better than a sharp blade in my experience." So, if you guys do want something alchemical, there are options, but they are limited from here as well.
Alchemical. Oh, Grace is home.
Maybe kind of a mud slurry with some poison ivy in there. I've got gloves. And that's not much in the way of alchemy, but I mean a skin irritant, you know?
Yeah. There actually are skin irritants in the Big Book of Alchemy.
Just like how simply that was said. I've got gloves.
Oh.
A very
wrong.
underappreciated piece of equipment in my experience. Like, you got your plate mail? Yup. All right. You got your shield? Yup. You got your sword? Yup. I'm good. It's like, no one ever pays attention to the quality of their boots or their gloves.
And you always see in the movies that the second the gauntlet's off, stabbed right through the hand.
Right through the hand.
Right through the hand.
Taking out your fingies? Who knows?
A gloveless hand is a video camera magnet, and you know that once that camera sees it, it's going for it.
Dude, and like in real life, man, gloves are so useful. Like
Yeah.
going through the woods in general, if you have to grab anything, it's either sticky or pokey or just shitty.
Or
and it's
poisoning.
like
Yeah.
yeah, gloves just make you feel invincible. It's
So
great.
sticky.
Yeah.
Thanks, Corbin, for eating Dad's gloves.
Oh, I got Corbin in trouble.
You little shit.
Mm-hmm.
He deserved it, but I still got him in trouble.
Yeah, I think we need to. I prefer the option of trapping him, but I also didn't want to suggest it too strongly because I know that that would lead down the road of one of us being bait. Because I don't understand bird people well enough to know what entices them, and my sexy bird lady impression is quite poor.
I mean, you could try.
I mean,
It never hurts to try.
what I lack in charisma, I could make up for in brawn. Maybe he likes him thick.
Who
You're
doesn't?
pretty lean, though,
Well,
right?
I don't know. Am I leaning for a bird person though? That's the question.
That's actually a good point. You're a thick bird.
Thick boy.
I'm
Got me
picturing
some
you with
drumsticks.
like getting like a really silly like a like fake beak. It's almost just like a party hat that's on your face with like the rubber band behind it.
If I knew for certain that I could one-shot this guy, I might do something like that, just to humiliate him.
Like he's been humiliating us through the entire forest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I want some good comeuppance too. I'm just worried we're not qualified for the job.
I don't think.
If someone stands and fights us, we're great at that. We are incredible at that.
Yeah, but this guy. I mean, it's not about qualifications really. It's about necessity.
Yeah.
Like when you got to box Superman, you might as well get down and do some push-ups. Because either you're gonna pull a miracle or get turned into pink mist, and worrying about it's not gonna change anything.
You want it down?
Well put, Ilya. So,
Do you want it down?
my thought. Hey, Lishka, you remember the Winthrop job? Yeah. Yeah, the one with the air elemental masquerading as a fire elemental. Yeah, that one. What did we use back then? I think, was it a balm? Was it an eye balm that we used? Yeah. We had that aloe vera like substance from those bulbs. Yeah, helped us see heat. That worked out pretty well. Maybe we gotta see if G's got any of that left in stock. Okay, well she's already down that way. All right. Rad Baxter gets up to go back and talk to G some more on some more apothecary items that they could potentially use, and heads down that way.
Did I hear you right that you said eye balm?
Yes.
All right. Doesn't sound very comfortable.
It's a really good moisturizer, is all.
Yeah. Not everything is pleasant. Not all apothecary reagents.
I wish it was.
Hope you're rubbing on some goggles or something.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think goggles have been invented yet.
Well, we're fighting a Birdman. Let's shoot for the moon.
So now we have to shoot stuff too? It's getting more complicated. I thought I just had to sit by a fire, and yes, I'm sitting by that damn fire. One of you can't take the hit, and the other one won't.
I mean, I could probably maybe take the hit. I just think you could take it better.
Good. Why are you trying to stop me?
I want to get healed in the future. That was some miraculous healing you did back there.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Okay.
Believe in me.
I want to make a sort of trap that I could have put on Wretch, right? Like just have it like on his arm or something that looks like maybe it's just like twined up rope or twine or something, that I can convince to when he gets attacked to
Maybe like
ensnare and catch on to.
Okay.
kind of like a Venus flytrap on his chest. Because when he attacked you, he went right for center of mass. and just straight up impaled you. So maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Something to like catch him and keep him in.
So we could do a cantrip for like an improvised spell. Otherwise, what spell do you have for
Magic
creating?
trap.
Okay, so what's specifically on it?
Easy check. Infuse an organic trap with the following. It becomes sentient and will detonate when someone tries to disarm or circumnavigate. Increase difficulty of those actions by my number of successes and detection by number of advantage.
But it says duration 10 minutes,
Duration
right?
10 minutes.
So you can use that 10 minutes before this comes up, and that would be an option, is to give him like some rope or something like that to throw over his shoulder or something like that and have it like lash out at him, so to speak, right? You could even do something like a cloak, or like some other like fabric type material would also be an option.
Okay. Yeah, I guess either way is fine. I don't know what would be. I feel like rope would be easier or harder to break free from.
Rope. So a cloak would work. So like fabric would be quicker to ensnare,
Yeah.
right? Because it's just like boom. Rather the rope, if he's got a rope coiled up, like if Wretch has a rope coiled up on him, then it would need to coiled up. Like if Wretch has a rope coiled up on him, then it would need to uncoil and then like snake around him or something like that.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know
let's
what
go
I
with
mean?
like a classic
So
spear
there's-
cloak thing that we could just put around him, his shoulders. We could shoot around the guy.
Okay. So, what's your hope with the to be sure here? Because I'm trying to remember like the wording of your ability as far as like when you have to make a trap, and then that gives it that like imbues an organic trap with sentience and whatnot, right? So it would still have to be a normal trap, right?
Yeah, this is an organic trap. Yeah.
So it couldn't just be like now that I'm thinking about how it's worded, it couldn't just be like here's a normal blanket laying on the ground that can't do nothing, and now it's a normal blanket on the ground that will not only be harder to detect and harder to get around because it's sentient, but it will also do things like trap you that aren't innately built into it, right? So now I'm thinking about it a little bit more. You would have to actually make a trap for that spell to already work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's circle back to how you would actually set something up, right? So we can roll an intelligence, a survival or a mechanics check, in making a trap, right? So like,
Yeah.
think about like how you would set it up, right? So if you're talking about having Wretch on the top of a tower or something like that, it's like, is there a pulley and eye loops around the top, where as soon as the person falls down, like and lands on the ground, is there like a wooden pressure plate that they'll click, and then suddenly the pulleys will throw taunt and drop a rock off the side? You know,
I
like,
was trying not to get that complex because I don't want it to be something that's not on his body.
right. It will need to be a legit trap.
Okay.
And then you can use your spell to imbue it to trigger using sentience. Right? So it'll
Okay,
still need to. It'll
It'll
still.
be- okay, then I'll come back to it because I have no idea. I don't have any ideas.
I'll be
for
right
that.
back. I have to use the bathroom.
So I'll just have
Bold
to
of
come
him
back
to
that
assume
later.
that's allowed.
Yeah, how rude. Yeah, because I'm like out of it. I got nothing for like that. Actually being a trap, so I'll need to think about it.
Right. No problem. And that's what the session's for, is coming up with ideas.
I thought it was to hit stuff. Big stuff.
Wait a second. That's not a rat.
What happened to Wretch?
Like how that's your problem.
We got a Dr.
Listen, I
Jekyll
love
and
hitting
Mr.
stuff
Hyde
as the next,
situation.
as much as the next person, but it has to be consistent. So the current plan is, while Dustin's outside, is that I'm going to, in fact, be the bait, despite people's discomfort about the fact that I am, in fact, cool as shit.
Yeah.
The other question is where are you guys going to do this? Are you guys going to do it here at Bracken Bastion, or are you guys going to go down to the down to the
I think it should be
the
here.
feeding grounds where the rain doesn't necessarily permeate through the thicket ones? Because
Probably
you two will be at a
Bastion.
distinct disadvantage, magically speaking, with the rain. Just so you're aware.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. We know he's here, and we don't know necessarily that he's gonna fuck off. Like, for all we know, he acquired these guys as his new targets, so now he's just gonna hunt them, and even if we leave, he'll stay here, and then it's all pointless. We know he's here. Like, I know Wretch at least would vote to just like, well, he's here, let's take care of him here, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would.
But even as a player, I'm like, we have no guarantee that he would follow us off in the middle of bumfuck nowhere again.
Yeah. Yeah, also, there's more backup here. Like, theoretically, if we could catch him and hold him in a place long enough, like, we'd have support, you know?
Yeah, and he followed us here, but he didn't pick one of us off. He could have, I'm sure, but
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like he came after me again.
He attacked you the night before you guys came here.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, the night we were here, he didn't attack me again. He went for somebody else.
Correct. Okay. As you guys discuss this stuff, the day grows long and passes into the evening.
That's a really long conversation.
Well, I just meant more like you guys are, hashing things out, right? And I wasn't sure if you wanted to wait for Nath's report back as well. But do you guys not want apothecary agents? Anything like where you guys want to set up? You know.
I mean, like I said, well, wait, no, you're asking me as a player. I mean, I would be like, well, let's just go to the last place this guy was. So let's go to where Bro McGillicuddy ate the dirt
Einhack, yeah.
and just sit at his fire. And like I said, take his spot on the watch and suffer his same fate, but this time intentionally.
Gotcha.
yeah, I would like if that eye gel or anything that can help us see this guy in advance and God, maybe mark him somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, there could be marking options. So if you guys open up the Big Book of Alchemy that's tagged in the Discord, that might help spark you guys some ideas. So here's the thing: you guys can get any common or uncommon type potion. Each you can get one of from G based off of the resources they have available. If you guys want anything more fancy than that, then you guys will need to probably go and help with getting the resources to develop it. Right?
Mm.
So, depending on what you guys are asking for from G will let you know whether or not she can make it. With the resources at hand and what you would need to do in order to be able to get her what she needs in order to make it.
Wait, what level? What stuff would she have?
Common and uncommon is something that she can create, one for each of you.
Medusa's kiss turns somebody to stone for 5 turns.
That's fancy.
Have fun kissing the guy.
It just says contact.
I'm just joking.
You know.
I mean, if
I'm
you
a-
want us to kiss him,
I'm a very charming rat.
want us to give him a big old smooch.
Ooh, rah, rah.
Hmm.
Why can't I find? There we go. I was looking for a Excel sheet. That's why. Oops. So yeah, if there's certain preparations that you guys want to do beforehand too, because some of this stuff will take like time, right? In order to brew these potions, in order to like set the stage. I imagine like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator, you know, he's like setting stakes and stuff like that, and like creating a trap instead of just being like, I want a trap. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have to give me a little bit more on what you exactly want from some of this as well.
Yeah.
And basically, the layout of the Bracken Bastion, if you guys are planning on doing it here, is that you are on the whole fort is on a gigantic stump. It's like a tree was cut off 3/4 of the way up, so to speak. And on the top of that stump is where the fort is. But the fort goes down into the tree as well. And as you go down into the tree, there are balconies on the lower levels where there's smithies set up and saunas, where areas that catch the water from the natural rainfall that comes from higher up in the balcony, where the canopy of the trees around this tree still have rookeries and stuff like that set up. So on top of the stump where the fort is, there are vines that make a semicircular wall all the way around the area, except for the front entrance. It's 2 layers of these huge walls that rotate inward to the point where they basically form a meat grinder with their thorns as they circle themselves. It also forms the ascent that spirals down the tree and is the main path to get up here in the first place. Inside the walls, on top of the stump, are squat 3-story-esque towers of varying width. So most of them are just small towers. There's probably 5 small towers, and inside there's courtyards for training and for recreational use. And then there's also a main squat 2-story building, which is mainly just 1 floor, but with a vaulted ceiling that is designed as like a mess hall where people will gather to. And then everything else is seated inside of the tree itself. Up above, there are small ascents via rope ladders and small platforms to get up to the canopy, which is where a lot of like small rookeries, where they keep a lot of like familiars and stabled animals, and have almost like an exotic animal kind of shelter. Menagerie, thank you.
Okay. I mean, I still vote just where the previous murder took place. See if they're a frequent flyer.
You got any wild ideas from the many times you've watched Predator? Dustin.
We need a really big log, some rope, and some thorn trigger traps.
Yo, can do thorn trigger traps. I can apparently not just do a simple cloak that wraps around it. You have to get better than that.
All gonna need to really up our bench press. It was clearly very important to Arnold's success.
Yeah.
Yeah, also the fact that he was jacked out of his mind. Oh wait, we have me. So get fucked.
I mean, my brawn is pretty good. It's a 3.
My willpower is incredible. Not my brawn. My brawn's fine.
Yeah, so we need to start flexing. I know that was very important.
All right.
All right. Wretch begins to flex,
100.
which he probably already was doing to like prepare for getting stabbed.
So one thing that you could make, I'm just trying to help represent your intelligence of 4, Emery, as like just ideas that you could come up with for traps if you want to go with like that cloth kind of aspect, is you could probably fashion a tent for where Wretch is going to be sitting, like a just like a cloth or canvas tent or whatever, with your classic pitch. And what it could be is that it's actually, if something lands on top of the tent, it's designed where it'll actually it's a hinge and it'll spring it upward. At which point there could be pulleys that wench down afterward after the cotters get pulled on the sides or whatever when someone lands on top of it. That would cause it to wench up and basically bag him, so to speak.
But that would
Oh,
only
so
work
like
if he like landed on the tent and
Correct.
not next to, and then ran up to him. Right? So
You could
Yeah.
do both.
There are other options too, though. So that would work as if the tent was pitched over where Wretch is sitting. But you could also have it where you could instead have an option where the tent is more of one of those ones where it's like kind of like on the side to keep wind off of you, right? So basically just take the tent, tip it over, so to speak, and you could have it where through a series of rope pulleys, you could have it where you could trigger. I'm trying to think about like how you do it with weights, but you could essentially try to bag him with it from a horizontal standpoint. I'm just trying to think about how you would do that without Wretch being in the way, unless you want Wretch to be stuck in it with him,
Wretch volunteers.
right?
yes, he does.
But no one actually asked Wretch yet, so far Wretch doesn't even know he's being discussed about.
Yeah. Other options too is if you did want to do something right where this guy was standing in the alleyway between two of the towers, is that you are on top of, that they're standing on top of the stump, which means that if there's under chambers of the stump, you could potentially try to create a false bottom in
Ruin
that
their
alley.
roof?
In their roof. Exactly. At which point he would fall into the tree, into the halls of the place. So he would only have certain, he would have to get back out the way he came in, or he would have to find his way out of the building at that point.
I like the idea of a false bottom, except I would prefer if he didn't have the option of getting out. Like kind of a double trap where the false bottom leads him to be bagged or skewered.
Well, what you could do is, if you wanted him to fall in and then have something go over the top, is one, Wretch, if he's still there, right, could put something over the top. Or you could have people in one of the neighboring towers push one of the walls out if there was a false wall that would just hinge down, right?
Oh, I think.
Like if it comes down to like an alleyway or whatever, like something underneath, like a hallway. I mean, there could be people down there too.
Right.
And like even a classic spike trap down. Like
Yeah,
something that he would
like
land
a-
on.
Like a pufferfish turned inside out.
Yeah. That's a normal way of describing that.
Yeah, like a bag with spikes on the inside.
There's
Ah.
an entire band named after that concept.
Inside out
Bag?
pufferfish?
Iron Maiden?
Oh,
I
yeah.
suppose.
Yeah, there you go.
I like pufferfish turned inside out, anyways.
It's kind of fucked up.
Well, so is what we plan to do to Birdman. So I think it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Boy, howdy, does he have it coming.
All right.
Oh yeah, he can't get his way out of this with innocence, please, or whatever.
Well, I think the tent thing is quicker and easier to have ready, and also looks looks reasonable for you to carry one out. So I'll start making something like that, where it's just a simple, almost like a lean-to-esque thing
Okay. So
that
if
could collapse on.
and you mentioned something about carrying it out, so then it wouldn't have any ropes, tethers, or anything like that that would cause it to spring shut, or would you try to build a contraption on the inside of it, hidden by its own tentliness?
Yeah, think like a chair, a lawn chair thing that would collapse in and out.
Right, but then what forces it shut? Right? Because like you can get out of a lawn chair. Like a rat trap has a spring, like a tight spring. What would this have some sort of spring built into it, or would you use weights and pulleys to try to get it to catch? Right?
You have to call it a rat trap.
Right?
Title of this episode, right there, the rat trap. It's gonna be.
Do we have to call it a rat trap?
There we go.
Yeah, no, like a spring or something would make sense to me, I guess.
Sarah, whatever you just said was really quiet.
I said a spring or something like that would make the most sense to me, I guess.
Can you make a natural spring?
Well, anything that stores energy as a natural spring, and like a wooden branch or the limb of a tree or something like that would work, as long as it's bent back.
Do you have ritual casting?
Yeah. I mean, inherently the stuff I do is.
Sorry, do you have experimental ritual as a talent? It lets you do really big things, ritual casting wise. Okay, so what we can do is we can combine a cantrip, and if you want to take some time to practice, we can try to make a magical replacement for the physics portion, right? Because that's the hardest part, is like how do you get the physics to do what you want with this trap, right? But since you don't have that as a spell, you can still pick it as a cantrip, right? But cantrips mean that you can do any sort of type of magic, but the difficulty has to be maximum of an average check. So you can practice and try to develop some way of getting this thing to do what you want it to do. And then you can combine that with your magic trap when you're getting ready to set it up.
Okay. I guess I'm sure. However, you want to work it logistically is fine with me.
Okay. So
I'm not sure I understand, so I'll just.
no problem. So let's just go back to function over form, right? You have an ability that lets you make a magic trap. Let's think about how someone can make a snare and conceal it, right? So let's just stat this out. Let's try to make a trap at first, right? And then after we try to make a cunningly disguised trap, then we'll use your magic ability to infuse it, and then we'll go from there. Okay, and not worry too much over the details of it, but you have to tell me what you want it to do specifically, so that way we can get it to work, right?
Yeah, like I want it to snap shut and hold him in place.
Yeah, so a snare. So we'll give it a certain difficulty for him to try to get out of it, and we'll base that off of your success from your magic test before you, like, when you go to set it up. The thing that lasts, 10 minutes, so to speak. Does your magic trap have concentration?
No.
Okay. So what I'm going to say is that we're going to, because that's an easy check, we're just going to make it an average check. We'll make it a cantrip to make a concentration form of it. So you're going to be sitting there while this trap is in place. Like, you have to use your mind to hold it and get ready to spring it, so to speak, which basically means that you're going to have to warg into your trap.
Okay.
So you're going to be sitting somewhere being your trap. If you don't want to necessarily think too much on, like, the physics and the mechanics and all that other stuff, you just want to use it, detonate it with magic, so to speak. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Cool.
I guess I as a person am not smart enough to like think of the mechanics to how to set it up. So, like, if that's like how you want it, like, that's fine. I can do it that way. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to help you here.
Like, yeah, like, that's fine with me.
Cool. So next thing is, do you have resources available to be able to set something up?
Do they have stuff I can use here?
I suppose.
Otherwise,
Spare canvas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they would have some resources around.
Like, I have some stuff, but I don't want to just lose all of my equipment for making my elk and stuff.
Right. No, it's fine. I would say that you could theoretically ask around, and they would provide you with what you need. I mean, it's all a group effort here.
Okay.
And the things that you are asking for aren't crazy either. They're a fully functioning
Wood,
fort here.
canvas,
Yep.
rope or twine, or
Yep. So then the next question is, if you're setting this up outside, it's raining up here, right? Do you guys want to try to do anything to block off the rain from where you guys are setting this up? Anything else? Because that'll increase the difficulty of maintain. Because water erodes the magic, right? So I don't know how long you'd be able to keep this up. You might need to wait until you spot them and then bring it out. Right?
that kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, it's hard to throw. It's hard to throw a mouse trap at a mouse.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I know.
So there
I
are
want it set out with him when he's sitting there.
So there are merits to going to the feeding grounds down below if the rain is going to be a problem.
Well, we could set up a shelter over the fire. That's innocuous enough, and hide the trap in the shelter, and use your magic components to activate it. Or use the magic to activate
then we
it,
don't
I should
have, then and also now that you're talking about the the tent being a bigger thing that my person's not necessarily thing for, like, maybe the tent thing is just its own thing, and then I would make something smaller that's more of a trap that would fit my ability.
Yeah, that would make sense. And we can think of some, like, cause so your intelligence is 4, so I'm not gonna force you to think of this stuff yourself either. Like, you could do stuff like sticky traps, right? Like, sticky traps are organic material too, where there's not a lot of this thing needs to tie a knot and a bow around this guy, so to speak, right? Like, it would be like tar and stuff like that, where it's organic material.
And there's something that drops from the, if we had a tent thing set up or whatever above him, that would drop on him when he stepped into the tent to get Wretch.
Yeah, what you could do even is, so if Wretch is underneath the lean-to, right? You could even make a false top to the lean-to. So basically take a heavy canvas or something like that and put it on the top of the lean-to with tethers run straight to the ground, right? So that way when he comes in, you could even put a tripwire on it where then it trips and pulls it down on top of them, pinning them both downward underneath the canvas, right?
I was thinking about dropping stickies.
Stickies? Oh yeah, yeah, you could do that.
And then he'd be covered in something too.
Touche.
I don't know. Thoughts?
That seems fine to me. I'm also going to be covered in whatever that is, though.
Well, I was thinking more like that it wouldn't drop necessarily on you, like you'd be further in or whatever. Like it was a, I don't know.
That would be a pretty big lean-to for a small alleyway.
Yeah.
Like if you think about like the space is 6 feet across, right? So if it's gonna get like, you would need to make it like, in order to cover him coming in from all 3 sides that are not attached to the building, and not hit Wretch, that would be covered. Like that would be very specific, like a specific trap, so to speak, for where you guys are. So, definitely food for thought.
Oh, did we lose Saucy just now? Or did that just me?
What?
There he is.
There you are.
Another option that you could have is on the towers nearby. Like, think about not using magic for traps, right? You've got survival and intelligence and resources available, right? You could put buckets of sticky goo all along the tops of the buildings nearby with ropes that run down underneath the ground, right? So you could just bore a hole for each one. You can have someone below who just literally pull, like 6 people pull buckets with ropes and it just dumps off the top. Or have people hidden up top. Or,
Yeah. I was going to say we need to, because this was thinking of when we had him out in the woods, but we kind of have to take back control of his movements because that is one of the things that he has over all of us, and to a great degree. And that would be something to funnel him into that alleyway and then dump him with tar and beat him savagely.
Yeah. The other way that you could control his movements is by controlling the area around Wretch. What I mean by that is, make it so he can't just run out, right? By adding terrain or by screwing with the terrain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you put tar just all over the fucking ground and all over the fucking buildings, you don't need to detonate a trap. Him going after Wretch will make him, like, there's no way out other than going through sticky shit. You know what I mean? Then he, like, if it's too obvious, then he might not go for it.
Yeah,
that's the other side of it. But there's ways you could mask it, right? Like, so just food for thought.
Yeah, I like the idea of it being a trap, though, for that reason. And one where we can conceal the trap while we're building a lean-to so that it can be concealed. Because I'm just assuming out of hand that he's watching us as we do these things.
Yeah. I am. Yeah, I would.
That's fair, actually.
Keep in mind, though, that you guys can each get a potion. You could potentially get a potion of invisibility that you use to run around and set things up. You could potentially get a potion that is a magical feature that can help be part of this trap. If one of you guys got a potion of giant strength or something like that, one of you guys could be the physics for a trap by yanking on something really fucking hard.
I have a really silly thing.
Go for it.
What if we painted the edges of the like of the border of the area so that if he steps in it and then he leaves painted footprints?
That's not silly at all, actually.
No, it's not silly. The question is can he step over it? right? Like how much of a barrier will you need? Will he be able to drop in from a branch somewhere? Do you paint the local branches, right? So that's what I was saying about like this setup. Like it's like you guys aren't gonna be able to get them tonight. You guys, there's a lot of these like planning things that you guys are gonna need to. What's the montage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm. Um, no reason we can't combine a couple of these things.
Yeah.
Funnel him into that alleyway, if I understand it correctly, and mark the edges. So even if the only way for him to avoid those is to go right where we want him to, and he's going to be looking to kill one of us one way or another.
Yeah.
So like muck and some kind of, I don't know, ochre kind of paint at the edges of the pathway. If I'm imagining this place correctly.
Yeah. Can we get
But
a
yeah, and
Re-
then some type of spring-loaded trap on or near Wretch where when he actually physically gets close, then he can get bagged because this guy, he's way too fast for any of us.
yeah?
And we could maybe move into position to block that alleyway out once he's in there, but I want to remove every possible advantage from this guy.
So
Yeah.
let me just I'm gonna do some doodling quick. Freehand. So the way I envision this place is, let's see here. If you have like here's your the top to the whole tree, right?
Okay.
Then you're gonna have like this wall that goes around it, made of big ass thorny vines, and then inside there's a main walkway. There's like a squat building, and then a couple smaller square buildings.
Okay.
And then there's like there's like a fire that you guys ate at the other day. Oops. And there's like training dummies set up over here, sort of thing. And then inside the main building, there is a staircase that leads to the rest of the interior inside of the big old facility, so to speak, underneath. So that's kind of roughly speaking what I envision when I look at this place. However, wherever the guy died, I don't like. We'll just use the benefit of the doubt for you guys as far as how you guys would want to set it up. But that's kind of what I envision. Now, you guys have the luxury of you guys have resources available to you that you can put up walls and temporary barricades, and you can even pass some of it off as just extra protection. Someone died here, right? So like it would make sense that you would put up extra protection, and then while putting up extra protection, you could try to hide some stuff, right? So like, oh, we put up a wall here, but we snuck blow dart holes in this, or that sort of thing. Or this one hinges down, so even though it's a wall, we know how to pull this cotter pin and walk through it really quick and then reshut it, right?
Yeah, that was kind of the idea. Hiding traps and barricades.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he came down from the canopy, didn't he?
Yep.
Is there
Yeah, so
still a pretty big canopy above?
So what was it? What it was said was that there was these big old branches out and around, right? And what it was said was that he was up on one of those branches and threw the head down into the base.
Okay.
And that's what Rad Baxter saw. No one saw Enoch die.
Okay. Oh, I thought he
So
was.
I mean, they saw his body though. Otherwise, that thing has to be immensely strong.
Did he have wings?
No one's seen wings on him, no.
Okay.
I'm surprised that question just came up.
Well, yeah. No, I had I had this image in my head, you know, from your original description. But your original description didn't have wings. But that didn't mean he didn't have wings. You know, like it was like.
Other options. So, like, I know we mentioned potions when it talks about apothecary. Poisons have also been slightly mentioned. You'll see that there's things like in the uncommon one. There's like utter hatred, right? Which is labeled as a potion, but it could also be a poison. So it gives people bonuses for attacking, but it makes them single-minded, right? So, like I never underestimate the value of a blow dart, right? Is always one of the thoughts that I go to too, right? So like some of these things can be used to help deal with some of those other issues that you would come across. Like utter hatred would probably, if he was tagged with it, would probably make him not leave and stick around and fight, right? You guys don't know how keen his eyesight is, but you guys can level the playing field with smoke balls, etc.
Let's just start putting some of our thoughts into action because I'm getting a little lost in theoretical.
Sure.
Start by setting up the tent that we talked about. Like, let's just start actually doing some of this stuff.
Okay, so
I'm going to get some of that tortoise toxin and try to make a kind of a smoke bomb out of it.
Tortoise toxin. Okay. Inhaled anesthesia, feels no pain but sluggish. Adds black dice to attacks attempted, pass out in an hour for a short time. Okay. And that's common. Yep. So you can snag one of those. Inhaled. Yep. So I would allow it to be it would be a small smoke bomb, so to speak. So it wouldn't be like a 9x9 space or anything like that. This would probably be single target or like, I would say it's probably single target as far as like throwing a glass vial.
Okay.
Okay. Tortoise toxin smoke bomb. And you want to set up a lean-to, is that right? Or did you want to set up a tent?
Sounded like a lean-to.
Lean-to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Wretch under a lean-to at murder site. Okay. And then
With a trap in the top that drops down and ensnares him.
okay, and that's a sticky trap, or is that a net of some sort?
Let's do a net of some sort for that.
Net set in the top.
Yeah, we can even do like a, the thin wire that he steps through, Like it could be can it be like a 3-sided tent or something so he only has one point of entry, Like
right.
you have a tarp.
You can, but then it'll be more likely to conceal Wretch from the guy that you're trying. Like you guys are having him be like, "Look at me, I'm here to get killed," right?
Yeah, but that I'm not worried about that. He's gonna know he's there.
Okay.
I love getting killed.
So the net is set in the top, and you want it to have 3 sides.
I want the tent to have a top and 3 sides. I want the net trap to be in the top. And when he crosses the entry way, it's like break a wire or whatever, that type of thing, and it trips the trap to drop the net on and ensnare him.
Okay.
Like, it's not like the whole tent is the trap. Like, it's just a thing in the top.
Right.
That
Okay.
drops down on him.
Sounds good. So net set in the top, and then so it's not a lean-to. It's more of a tent. A tent / lean-to. Net set in the top. As normally entrance. Net will snare.
I have to let Shara out. She is undoing.
Tripwire. Okay. Wretch, you got any ideas on what you want to do?
Sit there and look juicy. We've already discussed a lean-to. It's gonna drop some bombs on the guy and get him all trapped up. And then I just need to survive it and hold him there until people arrive.
Okay. Anyone else want to utilize any other resources at your disposal?
Those thorn. If he's going to be coming down on the canopy, I want to make sure that he can't. Make sure that he can't just hit the ground and ambush Lech or anything like that. Let's see. Can I collect? Is there a way for me to collect wood to make some kind of thorn trap or spike trap or something to that effect, and place it around the area so they can't just land and ambush us?
All right, let's zoom in here real quick. I'm gonna say that we're setting up the trap right here. If we're looking at this pseudo map, I'm gonna say, Sarah, if you're looking at these buildings here, and Wretch is this. Let's see here. This little yellow dot. Okay.
There it is.
So he's got his back to this building, the top building.
Mm-hmm.
Is the opening on the left side, the right side, or the bottom side? Which side is the opening?
Outward, I guess, would be my thought.
Left side, right side, or bottom side? I don't know what outward means.
Like, out towards the, out.
Okay.
The
So
outer
it's
wall.
facing the outer wall. Okay. So then I will just go ahead and
Hope they
make
keep watch.
a pink. So there's this tent here, like that, essentially. Now, Dustin, you wanted to make a thorn trap.
Yeah,
Correct.
it would be on the backside that's facing towards the center of the Bracken Bastion. So just behind that.
So over here, or over towards the center of the Bracken Bastion. Sorry.
Yeah, towards the center. So
Okay. So you would like to put. Let's see here. 3. Let's do. You want there to be a thorn trap behind the tent. There.
Yeah. I
Okay.
guess my only concern, and this is to the other players, is that if we stop the Birdman from getting in from the backside, that also means that Wretch can't hoof it out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the plan is as soon as the bird guy gets down there and triggers the trap, that Wretch is just going to join in on the vicious beating.
Yeah, it didn't really feel like in this conversation I was ever leaving this place.
Yeah, okay. That would be my one concern.
Speed is not something I'm known for
The
in this
bonk, though.
campaign. I'm great at bonking in this campaign. There's a different campaign where I'd get the fuck out of there real fast, but not this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm staying.
Okay.
Okay. Are you trying to make your thorn? Would you like to make your thorn trap concealed? Would you like to make it really thick and across, so that way it's like there's no way of like jumping it, so to speak, and it's like 10 feet of like literally just thorn bushes, just fucking piles of thorn bushes, so to speak. So it's just like it's natural stuff, but it's obvious that this is meant to be like barbed wire, essentially.
Yeah, I'm not caring to conceal it. I just want to make sure that physically he would have a very, very difficult time of getting through that way.
Okay. The net trap, I would say, would be not very hard to make. I'm still gonna make you do a. I'm gonna make you do a. I'm gonna make you do a skullduggery check. It's because it's not about how hard it is to make the trap. It's about how hard it is to make it sneaky, right? So you can do deception. You can either do skullduggery or deception because you're trying to conceal the net inside of the tent, right?
But that's part of my magic trap thing is how difficult it is to be detected as well.
Yep. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna set it up, and then you're going to use your magic to hide it
Okay.
later on. But that's gonna be like
Gotcha.
right in the throat. Like you got to make this stuff and get it all set up and whatnot, and then later on you're gonna cast your magic on it to like make it like it'll start draping funny and stuff like that to make it look like, oh no, it's just like part of the net's tether material and stuff like that, you know?
Okay, so skullduggery.
Yeah, skullduggery.
3 success, 2 advantage.
I need a red die if you wouldn't mind. Okay. Thank you. And when do you guys want to start setting this stuff up? Over for the next night, or are you guys going to wait until the next day to start getting this set up?
I want to set it up for the next night because he's been doing it every night, and the sooner we kill him, the sooner the danger passes.
The boy has done many a murder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Want to catch him soon.
Okay.
Do you think it would be offensive to the people of the Woodlands if I wore parts of his skull as a mask?
Nah, they don't know what's up.
He's not indigenous to the Woodlands.
That's fine. I don't even know to be offended.
Which brings me back to Nath. Nath is able to come up with some information before you guys get ready for the first watch, so to speak. Basically, Nath comes to you. We don't have a lot of details on the histories of the Tengu, but we do have a few missives from the Tengu a long time ago in an older script that were pleas for help in dealing with the Ashara. Hi, baby girl.
Dealing with the Ashara.
And dealing with the Draken in the Highlands. But that was a long time ago. And there hadn't been much word for a long time since.
What are the Draken?
The Draken are there's greater Draken and lesser Draken, and they're a sapient race of dragon hybrids, essentially, who live in the Highlands and follow the dragons. And the thing about them is that they're like your classic, like hunter type trope, I guess. They're very, very big into ironically stalking prey and like being nomadic hunters. Essentially, they're very nomadic in that sense. They hunt for food, but also for sport. But anyways, so there's talk about the Tengu basically coming in, a few of them making it through the Highlands and reaching what was now called the Old World. Some of them were people with channeling powers or witchcraft. Some of them had wings. In fact, most of the stories of the Tengu coming and visiting this area or making it out here, they had wings, according to the stories in the past. But from the readings, there's anything about them having the ability to become invisible or anything like that. So it's a bit of a throw as far as how that could possibly be. Further looking into it, the suspicion is that this particular person might be a Sisimido or an avatar of some sort of hunting spirit, potentially, as it has been known to happen in the woodlands in the past, as certain creatures take on basically an endowment from a artist of some sort, and become kind of like their vestiture on this planet, right? So a good example is Wretch as a channeler. So unfortunately, I know that's not a lot of useful information, but there's just not a lot on this guy. That being said, Nath was able to find a little bit more on Ephemera as well. But the first shift is nigh, so to speak. A couple of the Radbaxter was able to come up with one potion of, or a balm of heat seeing from G's materials, and is considering using it for being able to watch for the night. However, that being said, he knows full well that there's a potential that this character doesn't even come tonight, right? And so he's considering holding on to it for now, so to speak, and going and getting more resources, so that way G can create more potent materials and potions for them on the following day. So some of the folks they're going to bed down for the night and potentially hit it in the next day, trying to go get more resources to develop all of the materials that they need. They do, however, think that onyx blades or silver swords would be potentially useful regardless of what this creature, whatever this creature's magic comes from, at least temporarily. I know you guys have some onyx weapons. Sorry, obsidian. I keep saying onyx. Obsidian. Either one would do.
We do?
I don't think my bonking stick is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You guys got a brace of obsidian daggers, and I think 2 obsidian swords from the cairn.
That I vaguely remember.
Oh, from the spirits that we released?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't have any of those on me.
No, I don't either.
I know we collected them though.
I don't manage your guys' inventory.
Ah,
Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't have those for sure. Well,
okay. Well, I can carry them. I have pretty much nothing on me, so it's fine. Did they have stats we needed to know about?
You would have. It would have been 3 obsidian daggers, 1 obsidian sword, and 5 obsidian arrowheads. And they would have the same stats as normal weapons, except that when used, they automatically break when you swing them, and they have utility 2, and they have the ability to, essentially, when they do break, a chunk of it breaks off in the creature that you hit, making magic harder for them to cast until they get it out.
Oh, okay, okay. Can any of us fire arrows? Just gonna say Emery, but
Nope.
that's the wrong campaign.
no, Emery's right, but I don't. Yeah.
I bonk.
No, I got a spear.
Yeah, we could make some temporary spears out of those arrowheads, couldn't we?
I wouldn't.
Little
Well,
one?
I would allow you to use the daggers for that, but not the arrow tips.
Yeah, it might be a little bit small.
Sure. Is there a way? Okay, the rooms that are next to here or below. Is there any way to have like a pokey hole?
I would say it's probably like 10 feet across that whole space.
Okay.
You could potentially do that, but you'd have to fashion that, and then, like, I'm trying to think. Like, obviously, you wouldn't be able to cover the entire space from behind that space, like from behind the pokey hole, right? I'm gonna say that one of them will have a wall that doesn't have a staircase or like furniture blocking the way, that you could put a hole in, so to speak. But then you're gonna have to like run out the front door in order to like actually go back and around and go and help if you're camping out in that space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But then you wouldn't be able to do the other side of, like, there's just not enough weight. Like, there's not enough tension in the net that could be tripped with just like a tripwire that would cause this thing to sink down and like really bite into them. Because it's literally like if you dropped a blanket on someone,
Yeah.
how would you get shit to stab into them?
I was thinking with the magic.
Well, if it's
Right.
it's sharp enough.
So what I'm saying is that you could use your magic to constrict, but that's going to be a cantrip cast. It's not going to be what your magic ability is, because that's not how that one works. You know what I mean? So I'll allow it, but that's just a different spell.
I guess I'm confused, but okay.
You could have 2 different casts and double
Understand
concentrate.
2 different casts. You're not. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry, that wasn't understand.
Yep. So that's just adding qualities that your magic trap spell doesn't have. That's all I was saying. So you could use your cantrip to just cast a magic spell using organic materials on your net. Say, I want this to constrict. At which point you'd have to you'd cast that ability and hold it and concentrate on it, and then you'd cast your other one to make it super like jumps out and attacks on its own, so to speak, and super hidden. And so then your maneuvers every single turn as you wait throughout the night would be concentrate, concentrate. I concentrate, concentrate until he hits it, and then it would be it jumps at him, it falls down, and then it tricks.
Right, and you're saying concentrate like every 10 minutes.
Yeah, concentrate is a maneuver. That's all. So
Well, I mean, then that's like a minute, like every 6 seconds then.
yeah, but it doesn't require extra casting. That just means that you're just thinking on the spell. That's all it's saying. It's just that you're dedicating.
Oh, it's not like two strain. It's just an extra maneuver.
Yeah, concentrate
Yeah,
means that you
it's-
don't.
yeah, that's fine.
You can maintain it without taking extra strain.
Okay.
Okay.
I will do those things.
Cool.
That's what I'm gonna prep for this. For this, if it's gonna be just like if we're gonna do this tonight, versus because it sounds like that I wouldn't have more time to make or do anything else, right? Before night shift.
Not before this night. You could set
Yep,
up you could set up a tent, weave some
Yep.
some arrowheads into the net, and then get yourself into position.
I will do that. That is my full spiel.
Okay. You could get one potion from G, but that's other than that, that's it. Okay. Give me a survival check or mechanics check. Actually, give me a survival check, Ilya, for collecting bramble and bringing it back and setting it out and getting it so that way you have thorny barbed wire behind the net, so to speak.
Okay. Three advantage.
3 advantage. Okay. Would you like this to take longer than you expect or go further away than you had to expect in order to collect all this stuff? Or would you like to basically concede what you're able to acquire for this area? You could still grab like benches and stuff like that would be hindering terrain, but it wouldn't really be it would be like a pile of benches and stuff like that, right? So like people could climb over it, run up it, and stuff like that too.
I would rather have it take a little bit longer.
Okay. So as you go out and you collect some of this material, you're out in the rain, and give me a vigilance check.
Shucks. Ah. Why does the dice roller need an ad? What a fucker. Oh, fuck. 1 success, 2 advantage.
So just as you get your arms full of this annoyingly pokey shit, you get up to go back towards the Bracken Bastion, and you see the weirdest thing in the rain. You see the rain cascading down something sitting on a branch about 80 feet up.
This is why I said everybody go in pairs.
I'm gonna. Oh shit!
Look it.
I mean, going home seems legit.
Run.
Yeah, just, this whole adventure thing isn't what it's cut out. Imminent threat here. How close am I to the others?
You are outside of the fort.
Fuck. Yeah. God damn. Okay. I want to get inside the fort. I don't think these brambles matter much right now. I'm gonna drop them, and as I'm dropping them, take out my sword and shield and head back towards the uh, the tent or the others.
Okay.
And
As you,
maybe, man.
as you rush back to the others, I need you to give me a perception check.
Where's perception? Oh, okay. Wait, no, that one might be not so bad. Oh, fuck. One success, two advantage.
As you make your way back, you're unable to find where that form. You're unable to find that form again where it was. But you make it back to the rest of the group unmolested. You are being watched. That's what you know.
Not diddled. Yeah, I'm gonna warn the others. Like, hey guys, the Birdman is watching us. I saw him hanging out on a branch about 80 feet away, but the rain revealed his form somewhat, so that may be a good thing. But he wasn't. I couldn't clearly see him, even in heavy rain.
At least we'll have some idea he's coming.
And yeah, I dropped the brambles because I thought I might have to fight for my life.
Makes sense.
I mean, because I will have to fight for my life. Very unpleasant character out there.
Yeah, no, we don't want that. Maybe we can just set up a bit of some benches or something, pull them over.
Yeah, if we can just slow him down so we control where he's going. I mean, he knows what he's watching us now. He knows what we're doing, and at this point, we just need to create some kind of meaningful obstacle. However that plays out.
Right.
Yep. Okay.
What are you doing in the meantime, Rich? Just chilling?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to go sit in the spot and lure him in and then catch him, I guess.
All right. With that, you guys prepare for the first watch. Where are you guys setting up? I know where Wretch is going to be.
Do I need to be in view of my stuff?
I would say that you need to be at least within short range, but you don't need to be within view as long as these buildings are wood.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not too worried about like you being like in one of the adjacent
That's
buildings.
what I was gonna suggest.
If there were stone structures, then there's no way. But
Yeah, no.
and
I just want to be in one of the buildings.
which does remind me that the ground is set with cobbled stones of assorted materials, so that would have been pretty hard to get through too. But anyways, yeah. So you can set up in which of the two buildings? Do you want to be in the north one or the south one?
North one.
Okay. And how about you, Ilya?
I'm gonna set up in the south one.
Okay.
Sorry if we take a break. I have to use the bathroom.
No problem.
Totally cool. I'll go too.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's be back at 8:05.
Okay.
The Grumper Bear.
Yeah. She's not very happy right now. No one will play squeaky toy with her. Did any of the other guys help us with our little schema?
You guys didn't ask, so nope.
I mean, we were in the group, like, with them for a while, I guess. I didn't realize we had to specifically.
Yeah, I
ask.
can't.
I know that they were working on stuff.
Yeah, I had them there available in case you guys wanted to include them in your plans.
I had the idea of, like, painting the area around. I didn't know if any of them would, but it's wet, so I don't know. Maybe that's stupid.
You can come up with whatever plans you guys want. I'm trying to make sure that the NPCs don't take the spotlight. And I want you guys to be like, hey, you can go do this, or like, can you go do this for us, or this is our plans. What do you think? Rather than me being like, and this is what all these guys do, and
Yeah.
they run off and they kill this guy, and then it's all over.
Can they, like, take some extra tar and, like, paint it around the perimeter area?
Sure. What perimeter are you referencing?
Like the outer edge of the, wall stuff.
On
It's like-
on the thorny walls?
Yeah. Is that a spot where he can land and stuff?
Yep, it is. It's. Put it. That would take like a full day with all of them doing it to like sticky the whole area, right? Of the whole wall. Or are you saying like just this portion of the wall, or?
I'm aiming for more of this portion of the wall, like around these buildings and stuff. Like starting with where he threw the head or whatever. Maybe.
Yeah, he can do
Here.
like you're asking like this.
Yeah. Like start there or whatever.
Yeah, a couple of them can help with that through the course of a day. For prep. And what they'll do is they'll use sap. Like sticky sap.
And then I
back.
wanted to have the Medusa's kiss potion handy.
Okay.
I don't know how it works, but it says it's a common potion. Contact turns to stone for 5 turns.
Yeah, the Medusa's Kiss, I would say, is probably something close to like a salve. Right? So like you're gonna need to have it like put on something and then wiped on something, so to speak.
Okay.
And yeah, I would need to make contact with it.
So I couldn't just like pour it on him.
Correct. I think that it would need to be like a, because like Medusa's Kiss is like it's designed to be like a lipstick, right? That someone puts on.
Right.
That's how I imagine, anyways.
Yeah. Okay. Can I just have it like ready on a cloth? Basically.
Yeah, I mean you could even put it on a weapon.
Oh. Yeah, I'll put it on the obsidian dagger thing that he gave me. That I don't have time to turn to a spear, so it's not going to be as effective for stabbing. I'm not going to be as good at stabbing with it, but...
I mean, you could put it on your spear.
No, but this... We're supposed to be able to use the dagger, like, those are stronger against him, right? So...
They could potentially inert his magical abilities.
Yeah, I'll put it on that. For now.
Alright.
Sorry, I don't know if everybody's back. It's just...
Back.
Austin, were you gonna get a potion or a poison or anything?
Me?
Yeah, from if he was letting everybody have one from the supply.
I don't know what Wretch would really use. I think Emery could just have my other one. It's not really his style to poison things.
Okay, I'm back.
Cuckoo,
Welcome back, friend.
Thank you. You guys have those chair mats? Because I haven't carpeted. No, you guys don't have carpeted rooms, never mind.
We have carpets, but no.
I mean like a plastic chair mat.
Yeah, it goes beneath a wheelie chair in a carpeted room so you can move around.
Oh, yeah, no. No, we don't got any of those.
Yeah, I've got one, and the end keeps curling up so that when I leave my desk and then come sit back down and try to roll it in, it catches underneath.
Yeah.
And I tried flipping around to fix it. That doesn't work. And somehow the chair mat always migrates forward, so no matter what I do, after a day or two, it catches under the fucking mat. One of those petty irritations.
Yep, they'll get you. Alright.
Fuck.
Well, I'm ready.
All right.
I got my spiel gone.
As you guys make ready for the first night's watch, one thing I wanted to mention quick was that Emery decided to go talk to the Ace Away Loon, and she asked for them to essentially cover this portion of the wall over here. This portion of the wall over here of the vines. The top vine is coated in sap, so it's much more sticky and it'll cling.
So if he tries to land there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You guys take ready for first watch. And set up the tent. Get into your buildings. Reg, do you have a fire? What's your... You got just a stool you're sitting on?
I have whatever the setup of the guy that got murdered was. I was trying to recreate that scene as close to as possible.
Well, he was basically taking a piss in the backside of one of these buildings.
Oh, I thought it was he was taking watch.
No, he was away from the rest of the group while everyone was hanging out by the fire.
Mm.
And they found his body this morning.
Okay. Well, then I guess, yeah, I am at a fire, but I make sure to separate myself from others.
Okay. Yeah. So you're behind these buildings in this back alleyway. You got this tent up, alone by your fire. But not truly alone, for you have two friends in close proximity in these buildings. I need Emery to give me a magic check. 2, actually.
3 success, 2 advantage.
Back. Okay, and then one more. And the other spell is easy, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah?
Yes. 3 success, 4 advantage.
Success. Okay, I got 1 failure on that one.
Okay. And that's it?
On that one, yes.
Oh. How much? Wait, sorry, on which one? What do you mean?
On your second cast.
On the
So
second
your
cast,
second one
which is-
has abilities that
which is
are
the
about to
magic.
make success.
Trap ability? I didn't know which one was which.
Sorry, yep. On the magic trap ability, I got 1 failure.
Okay, so I got 4. Okay.
So that increases the difficulty of seeing your spell by, seeing your trap by how much, and then
Increase the difficulty of the actions people try to take to disarm or circumnavigate it by. So it's two success, and then detection is by 4 advantage.
okay, so by 4.
Yeah, by 2.
Okay.
So 2 for difficulty to circumnavigate, and then 4 for ability to see it.
So the net pulls itself up onto the top of the tent, and it almost looks like it's one with the tent, unless you are in the tent. Even Wretch sitting in the tent doesn't he looks down at. He doesn't necessarily see how this is supposed to work. It just looks like part of the tent. In fact, the bracing of the tripwire just actually looks like it's part of like what's keeping the tent from the legs going out, so to speak. As the night carries on, Wretch, you are accompanied by nothing but the sounds of the rain. It is still a light drizzle, as Bud Wakes are known for, being not very heavy rains, but damn, do they last a long time. Days. Sometimes even a full twillet. As it drips along in your surroundings, though, you remain dry from having this tent set up. However, at some point along the way, you're not accompanied by just the sounds of the rain. I need you to give me a vigilance check.
Okay. Get rid of you. Vigilance. 3 and 2.
3 and 2.
Yes, sir.
Somewhere at about 3 in the morning, you start to hear the cries of animals in the canopy. Just a few, but it's late and you hadn't heard much before. And it's in a direction that you cannot see because of the tent. But at some point, you hear it's almost like the sound of a branch maybe breaking, or something blowing in the wind, maybe.
Hmm.
And then
I mean, I'm gonna look up at it.
it's so like you'd have to get out of the tent, walk out into the rain, and look back and across the courtyard. It's probably from this direction.
Do I hold my post or do I check out the sound?
Your post.
I'll stay there, but I am looking inquisitively around.
A few hours go by, and at this point, you are
A few hours after I heard that noise?
Sorry, actually, it's probably about an hour after that. You hear
Okay.
more of similar noises. Animals, and then from over here.
Is that noise actually coming across that he's making?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just curious. The mic picked it up or not.
I mean, I'm gonna man my post till he comes into the trap. If I leave the trap, it's not much of a trap. Man the post!
Yeah.
It is significantly into second shift at this point, and it is getting hard for everyone to stay vigilant.
Speak for yourself, human.
Let's take a look here. Cheat sheet.
The Braven Tail has Will of Steel.
Where is that? Rotated conditions? No, it's question.
Never post.
Okay. Having taken it pretty easy yesterday, this won't be too hard on you guys. I need you all to suffer half of your strain minus whatever you roll on a simple resilience, discipline, or cool test.
Goodness.
So if your total strain pool is 12, you take 6 minus 2 success and advantage, or whatever you roll.
Sorry, was it the vigilance?
Nope, it would be resilience, discipline, or cool.
I got 7 symbols. Does it matter what the symbols are?
No, you take no strain.
Yeah.
You don't need sleep.
Beautiful.
Hold you.
Oh, I got a triumph, 3 success, and 1 advantage.
A triumph, 3 success, and 1 advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither do you.
Yeah.
I took like 5.
My murder
You
boner.
took like
keeps me
5
working.
strain. Okay, did you take
God.
your 4 strain from your magic checks?
Mm-hmm.
One of those you would have been able to. So the first one you would have been able to recover 1 advantage from. Sorry, one strain from, by the way.
Okay.
So Emery's getting a little bit tired while she's trying to actively maintain 2 spells.
Yeah. Been sitting here focusing for hours. Not letting my rope drop.
More time passes by. And you see at this point, from up at kind of this angle, away into the canopy, you see some creatures get flustered from the canopy, and a couple of them scurry away. But it's like, once again, dead of night, 300 feet away.
This guy's either losing his edge or losing his edge and moving very slowly.
You hear
I think he's
another.
trying to test weaknesses.
You hear another. And what you see from here, give me a perception check.
I assume you're talking to the 2 people not inside of a tent.
I'm talking about you specifically, what you see.
Oh, wow.
Because
Yeah,
this is
you.
the other 2 are in buildings. You would have like an arc of view to it at this point.
Okay, well, hope you weren't hoping for much. 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's hard for you to make out what that sound was from here. And more time goes by. Minutes drag out and the rain persists.
Okay. I sing myself a little song?
Sing yourself a happy song. Give me another vigilance check.
I am quite good at that. Two and 4.
2 and 4. The hair starts to stand on the back of your neck. but you see nothing.
Okay. All right. Nothing inside my tent either, as I take a cautious look behind me.
You look behind you. Nothing that meets the eye.
All right. Okay, safe in my
Small,
little
cozy
tent
space.
still.
You hear a little bit closer now. Up this way. You hear
Man, this guy's really losing his edge.
a cutting, grinding kind of sound, almost like yeah, like a grinding of wood.
So, can I see Emery or not
It's pretty hard for
Sharon?
me.
No,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did I get dropped?
Ilya.
I think I got dropped.
You got dropped, at least from Discord. Yeah.
Yeah.
You always get dropped at some point.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Sorry, Ilya. Can I see either of their locations from where I am?
They're inside a wooden
We're in
building
the
that
building
is right next to you.
so you can't really see us.
Okay. Then I maintain my post.
Okay.
I assume this is not for us. So.
No. Okay. The next thing. Trying to think. Okay. Actually, I need Ilya to give me a vigilance check.
Oh boy. That's
Go,
bad.
Ilya, go.
And I will give you. I will, because you rolled a triumph. I'm going to say that the setback die that you get for the entire next day for staying up all night doesn't happen until the morning, so it does not count into this.
One success, one advantage.
One success, one advantage.
Yeah.
There's not much that you're able to pick out, but your ears perk up for a moment. Like, almost to like the, I don't know if you like ever get like that feeling where there's like a change in pressure in the room.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Something's out there. Oh, I can practically taste it.
Well, I like the new.
Accent.
God damn it! How did I just forget your name again? Ilya.
Ilya.
Oh, I don't know why that one won't stick with me. Anyway, I like the new Ilya.
Okay. The very next thing I need to happen is I need it's 8:30. I don't know if I want to start this right now.
Well, you can give us the spiel and then let us.
Okay, yeah, you know what
Decide.
we'll do? What'll happen? The very next thing that you guys that happens is there is a loud crash as actually I'm gonna have it. Let's go with this. I need Wretch, can you roll your melee defense?
Yet.
But I'm safe inside my tent.
With no setback.
Okay,
No
so
setback
just
dice because
No
you're not dodging to the side. Your weapon's not like out to block. And
One
because
threat.
this is coming into the top. And I'm going to need Emery's your net is going to proc for restrict as the figure drops down through the top of the tent. It's going to collapse upward with the constrict ability. Because that is going to happen. He didn't walk in through the front door because he's an avian predator. He comes down from the top.
Yeah, that's. I mean, didn't think he'd come down through the top on a structure, but you know.
Well, he cased it from the other building spot nearby.
Yeah.
To see if it was because you mentioned it was a tent.
Yeah.
It was a tent building, so he's like, it's fabric.
Yeah.
So.
No, that makes sense.
All right. So I need to. Let's see here. I don't know if I have this up already.
So he's coming at you.
It's taking
That
a
was
bite.
the plan. Hello?
Sorry, I was.
Did we lose the DM?
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Sorry, I don't know if you lost me. Sorry, I didn't have this character's stats up, so I had to pull those up. Oof, 30. Okay. Utility 2, knockdown 2. Okay. This range. Okay. I need these.
What's going on?
I am going to roll for his attack.
Yeah. Sorry, you're just kind of.
I don't like the sound of those dice.
It's
Right.
a lot of dice.
I need more dice too. In fact, I need D4s from those.
It's weird, but
Fall damage is a D4.
you need more than one. I assume.
Yeah, I'll use the 2.
There you go.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, what'd you get, buddy?
One threat.
Okay.
Well, you took
Yep.
away everything. Yeah, it's just
Yep.
it's just a purple.
That's what happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
So he doesn't get any of the benefit of his armor?
His armor gives him soak, but it doesn't make him more maneuverable.
All armor's different, so.
Yeah, some armor would give you defense and deflect from that. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. 7. Okay, you take 17 soakable damage.
All right.
He's fine.
And then you are pinned. So
Okay.
you're prone and pinned essentially, as he lands on top of you. But then your ability procs. So I want you to give me. You're going to hit me with just roll your magic casting ability.
Okay.
All in all. And because he's right in the middle of it, pinning someone, he has no defense. This thing is just going to wrap up onto him.
Can I have 2 yellow?
Hmm?
So basically a magic attack is what I'm...
Yes.
Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4 success, 1 advantage.
Four success, 1 advantage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so this ability will have effectively utility, I would say utility 4. So you can reduce your damage, you'd reduce your damage by 3 to increase your advantage up to net 4. So that way you can constrict, and then that way you can proc the obsidian
Sure.
as well.
Okay. Yeah. So that would be the 4 advantage and then the 1 success then.
Yep. So let's see here. Okay. So he lands on top of you, pinning you in place, but just as that happens, the net goes whoosh, and like wraps around him, and you hear him go like he with like a piercing like noise, like a falcon would do. You hear like the thing like wraps up on him, and that is where we'll pick up next time.
We caught him! For a second, anyway.
Have bird and pop you go.
It's gonna be interesting.
Got him.
You did. Now I'm gonna get out there and just stab the shit out of him.
Yeah, you would have totally heard the crashing like of him coming down, and like when like oh shit, it's and then heard the caw.
Yeah.
Oh, good God.
How are you sitting, Wretch?
3 health left, but as soon as I get a turn, I can full heal, so.
Nice.
There you go. I was like, I think you're probably the one that can still take the biggest hit, but
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a higher health pool than me, which is interesting. Emery.
I do have a higher health pool, but my soak is much worse.
So just a reminder, the ability that I learned about on my blade last session, I can bleed myself to do a breach, right?
Yeah, your first breach is free, essentially. It doesn't cost a story point.
Okay. And that would let me get through armor.
Yeah, or use it for siege. Like, you could hack through a wall.
Oh.
You could Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah. Whatever way we kill this guy, it absolutely has to be dramatic.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know about blowing up the Bracken Bastion, but
I didn't get anything to do that by any means, but I'll let you simmer over how dramatically you want to, end his life over the next 2 weeks. I'll let you have the final blow. I caught him. That's all I needed. Caught the bird.
I got stabbed. That was my job.
Good to heal yourself too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I know.
Did you want? I mean, we have a little bit of time. Do you want us to do any prep stuff for like the next fight, or just handle it all next time?
I'm assuming that's all. We're gonna hit the ground running, so to speak, on this next one. It's a good starting point, so you don't have to remember. Oh, I did this, that, or that. I would say think about what you're. Think about what you want to do between now and then, right? I wasn't prepared for us to do this. I'll have a combat map and all that because I wasn't sure if you guys were gonna try to hunt him or you guys are trying to do something here or something somewhere else either.
Mm.
So that'll be us for the night. And we'll pick back up 2 weeks and see if you guys can get this guy or if he's going to hit the beach